So first off, the main focus of D-Brigade is quite interesting actually. It's a super aggro style of deck that has the ability to recur its lost units and do some crazy restacking the units back on the top of your deck. So basically having a way of applying pressure constantly. So let's dive into it, right? D-Brigade, main focus of the deck is it's a super aggro style of deck that has the ability to recur its lost units by self-replacing or restacking those units back at the top of your deck. Having a very powerful control card also really does help out in this deck. There is just very much a lot of power behind this deck, especially since now you have a quick aggro based attackers that are just constantly poking while you have a strong board protection presence. The ability to recur in this deck is basically units come from BT4 Commandramon and BT4 Darkdramon abilities to allow you to do that, but the ability to control the board also comes from DeathXmon, Kazu, and Ultimate Flare. So that's really going to be a lot of stuff. You got to remember how to well time it. This deck is a very high ceiling kind of style of play. It's not just smash face. There's a lot of times you have to answer to respond. So just knowing what you got to do with the deck is half the battle. So just keep that in mind. Ways to win with this deck is having DeathXmon keep your opponent's board light so you can rush in with your Commandramons and finish your opponent with Darkdramon Rush. Sometimes you could just Darkdramon into DeathXmon too. That's just another way of climbing up because Darkdramon is a level 6 and DeathXmon is a level 7. And ideally you want to be on 3 memory on your final push turn to rush in with Darkdramon so that you can just get that final swing in. But we have plenty of ways to go higher than that too. Depending on what your board state is and everything like that, you could definitely apply a lot of pressure. So let's talk about it. Is that the deck core as a self-contained style of deck? D-Brigade is the type name of the main units you want to use and recycle through the whole match. But there are also cards that help out with most of its second typing called Cyborg. So we have a lot of Cyborg related functions that help boost Commandramon ahead of the pace. So we use cards to help out with as well. So there's that. And now let's break it down really quick. Digitama, we're only playing Pagumon here. So only way to draw in black is basically with this Digitama and it's just a 50-50 shot, especially if you hit an option or a tamer, you whiff. But I mean, hey, on deletion, it's the only draw we got. We got to use it, right? So just keep that in mind. Commandramon 2-drop from BT-03. This card, Digimon, is a target for BT4 Commandramon and it costs 2. So it's just a very quick hard player that we like to do. Commandramon 3-drop from BT4. This is the heart and soul of the line. It's the way we recycle our Commandramons, get them back out onto the field, and it just 1-for-1 trading with that card is amazing. The only time it really sucks is when you want it to die and it doesn't, and that's the last Commandramon you need to die so you could win the game. That's kind of like the double-edged sword with him. He's such a low DP, but sometimes in these kind of metas, there isn't always a way of getting him to die. Because of what's really nice about him is he checks the top 3 on his on deletion and then just plays a Commandramon if it's there. Commandramon 4-drop from BT-05. This is our blocker of the deck. It has blocker. And what's really nice is if our Commandramon dies and you see this one and we can block an attack for a turn, it might help us out. And that's just really just what we want him to do. So that's just BT5 Commandramon in a nutshell. Then we have Commandramon 4-drop from Starter Deck 5. This is just our muscle card. This thing has just 5,000 DP. It's a vanilla. It might get replaced out by the EX Commandramons. That is something I'll have to look into. Chumon from BT-03 locks down any of those memory gain outside of tamer gains. So basically your Hammer Spark to memory boosters, they kind of can't just pop their memory booster to gain the memory, which really does help out and slow down the game for them. Hagurumon EX01, enough targets to fuel for the graveyard, and then, you know, gains you draw advantage. Basically, it has an on play that draws you 2 by discarding 1 sideboard or machine type. So since the Commandramon line is all cyborg, and D-Brigade in general is, we're going to take advantage of that. So we're going to draw, fuel our graveyard, and apply more pressure. Going into level 4, we're playing Nanimon. So BT6 is a very solid surprise Digimon in security, but he's also just a very cheap cost to hard play. You know, just all in all, great stuff. Digi-Evolution wise, he's not that expensive either. It can help you choke your opponent too. Just all things to keep in consideration. The Grumblemon from BT-07 evolves over your Tamer for winning game stats, because who doesn't like to Digivolve on top of your Tamer and win through hybrid? So that's all in all just what we're doing. Now we play no level 5s, but we're going into level 6s. Darkdramon from BT-04, he has Rush and has the ability of, for up to 5 Commandramon from your trash can be stacked onto the top, and for every card Commandramon you D-Brigade you put back, basically instantly gain 2 memory back. The only time this really is troublesome is that you need to be at 3 when you play him. If you're at 2, you can't play him because you instantly have to pay the full 13, and then you just gain the memory slowly back. So that's just kind of what goes on with that. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about the deck and when timing is relevant. Bt7 Dex Mod. This is a very powerful new boss Digimon. It helps control boards. This card is for every Digimon and Tamer. It reduces its play cost, which is very important, but it also has a Digi-Evolution effect, and it also pops with it. And then you also have the end of opponent's turn effect that just says, I'm going to just kill something you own, the lowest DP. So just constantly applying pressure after pressure after pressure. DeathXmon's just so powerful. So just keep that in mind. DeathXmon's just so much better. Let's dive into the options. Dark Roar BT-04. This card basically helps delete blocker threats on the low end and could kill a big guy because of board state. The reason for this is it starts at level 3 for popping, but for every D-Brigade you have on the board, you can go up a level. So basically, it takes 3 D-Brigade to pop a level 6, 4 if you want to pop a level 7. Ultimate Flare is a really powerful card. You can kill big stacks, make threats easier to manage to deal with. The reason for that is if they swing in, especially depending on what's going on, you can stop restands on a Grandis or just get anything else that you need. It can Digivolve up to 3. You can do 1 if you need to. You could do 2 if you need to, but it stops if they get to level 3 anyway. Just things to keep going in the back of your head is, like, timing wise, it's not a mandatory Digivolve 3. It's you choose up to 3 Digi-Evolutions, pops any play cost 3 or less. Problematic Junk BT-06. This seems like a really weird card for a lot of people, but it helps extend our plays, especially since it gives our Commandramon a gain 2 memory on deletion effect, so that now if it pops, you can gain 2 memory as long as they don't have like a memory blocker. It really does help out. It's not like an Ice Wall situation where it just gives you the 2 if it's deleted. I wish it was that way, but it's not worded that way. So it's just a 0 cost. It helps extend your plays, get your Commandramons to apply more pressure. It helps out against other strategies. Just that you know that they're going to pop something, you can gain extra memory out of the deal. Pride Memory Boost from BT-07 helps fill the trash, basically because you get to look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and then you instantly get to trash them. It goes into the trash, but you get to play a level 4 or lower Digimon from that and instantly get it on the board, which helps apply pressure, especially going early, and the delay effect to pop to gain memory is really important. Kazu is a really amazing new black card, so it helps shut down recovery decks and any decks that 5 or higher. This is really just a yellow hate card, just because shutting down recovery for a turn really does help out, especially since it goes to the opponent's end phase. So you use it on your turn, instantly they're not recovering, and that could mean you get to apply pressure because they're not going up again. Things to really think about, because again, that's all you need is sometimes just that one turn of not gaining like a bunch of security. Tamers we're playing is Izzy from BT-04. This card basically says when on played, if check the top 3 cards of your deck, look at them, place them on the top in any order. If they're all black, gain a memory. And then this card, especially if it gets hit in security, can be really nuts, especially because this could pass their turn, instantly gaining you an extra memory when you choke them. Really good. Izzy Joe from BT-06 helps us draw cards, but if your opponent goes wide, it gives us extra memory. Just need 2 Digimon on their side, and especially helps in the early game, just because it's just beneficial to gain that extra memory. That means extension of plays, more Commandmon coming down, all that good stuff. And it's just, who doesn't like to draw when your Digimon dies? It only works on your opponent's turn, but hey, that's fine by me. And then we have Kazu here. Kazu basically says that at the start of main phase, so if you don't have a cyborg up, you won't gain it. But if it's in raising and you decide to promote it up, Kazu will trigger, gaining you an extra memory, which does help out. So it just really does really well. And then if your cyborg or machine is rested, instantly draw another card. So, and that works on both players' turns. So it's just all in all good stuff. I mean, it synergizes. We get more draw potential, more power behind us. We didn't have this before, now we do. And this is all great, good stuff. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hopefully you like the editor's take on it. Hopefully it came out really well. And I'll catch you in the next video. Peace!